Before we get started, folks, remember, I can't keep the channel alive if nobody's watching it. So, go ahead, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. You're going to want to pour a stiff drink for this one. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Mead Hall Shorts. This one is going to be an origin story. Now, you might notice that I have something different in front of me. No mead today. I pulled out a little bit of the Dalmore Port Cask Aged. Yes, that's right. We're going to do some scotch today. Now, there's a good reason for that. Well, two good reasons, actually. The second one will become apparent later. Well, the first one is, this particular origin story, you're going to want to drink. Because this is actually pretty horrifying. Not long ago, I saw a post from a friend that said, whatever you do not go look up the origin and the invention of the chainsaw. Now, naturally, I had to go look that up. There's no way I'm passing something like that up. It's got to be interesting. And, yeah, you could say it's interesting. So we all know what a chainsaw is. You use it to cut down trees, chop up wood for firewood. Pretty typical tool in today's arsenal. Everybody sees it. Many of you have probably used one. But what you probably don't know is that unlike what you may believe, which is that the chainsaw was invented to compete with Mother Nature's greatest lumberjacks, that's not the case. The chainsaw, in fact, was invented for medical reasons. Yeah, I said that. Medical reasons. Not only just medical reasons, specifically, well, let's go back to 1597. Starting about that time frame, there's a method used for childbirth called symphysiotomy. Symphysiotomy. Yeah. Say that 3 times fast. Now, what this is a method of widening the birth canal when, unfortunately, the baby can't get out. And it's... Now, I'm not going to put a graphic up on this, but let's say it's just about cutting away ligaments, cartilage around the pelvic area that's getting in the way of the baby being born. Now, as we all know today, if you can't get a natural childbirth, you have what's called a cesarean section. Zip, open up the hood, take the baby out, close it up. Done. That wasn't the case back then. In those days, you actually had to just try to widen things up to get the baby out. So like I said, the earliest we know that procedure is used is about 1597 onwards. So enter 2 Scottish surgeons in the 1780s who looked at the tools being used for the procedure. Yeah. They took a look at the things being used at that point in time to perform the procedure and decided there had to be a better way. So they were set off to find something that was going to make it easier, quicker, and perhaps a little bit safer than to perform this procedure. And John Aikins and James Jeffrey, both Scottish surgeons, had a little bit of that one night and came up with this tool to... Holy gods! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right, folks. You're not seeing wrong. That's a hand cranked chainsaw for delivering babies. No, you didn't mishear me. That's what the chainsaw was originally invented for. You can't unsee that. So there you have it. Later on, of course, we know that the chainsaw gets used for other things as the cesarean section becomes something that's more of a safer method, hygiene improves and things like that. This drops out of, for logical reasons, favor. And the symphysiotomy is no longer performed. But that's not the end of the chainsaw. It's picked up by a guy in the early 1900s, and maybe someday I'll tell you about that one. And he redevelops it into what we know today, which is, used to cut trees. But then again, maybe we've gone back in time. So there you have it, folks. There's your Meat Hall Musings short origin story for today. And I hope I haven't made you sleep less tonight. I might not sleep much myself. I suppose I should have listened to that friend who said, whatever you do, don't go look up the origin of the chainsaw. Skull.